Welcome back, Filmholics. My name is Kyle Kenrick, but in this channel you find anything and everything filmmaking. So today's gonna be a little bit different. There's just a million reviews of this camera, of this full frame camera, the Sony a7S III, the God camera, the amazing camera that came out this year. But the thing is, I have no experience with this camera. I have no experience with a full frame camera. I just upgraded to full frame. And that's why today, instead of reviewing this camera, I decided I want to share my experience and why I decided to upgrade from aps-c to full frame, and when should you. To get started, I kind of wanted to go through the history, where I came from before this camera. So to do that, I kind of want to give you guys a small little timeline of my cameras. And my first one that was given to me as a present, and I will always be grateful for this, it was during my junior year of high school. It's the Canon T2i, an aps-c camera. And this was during the DSLR revolution, where everyone was like filmmaking with DSLRs, and I kind of wanted to see if I want to get to this. And that was that type of camera. It was just something like, hey, if you want to do this, do it. If you don't, it doesn't break the bank, you know? It's something like that. And I absolutely loved it. It blossomed a passion. And then outside of high school, this was when I started getting a job, and I wanted to buy my own camera. I wanted to have more capabilities, and I wanted I just wanted to make something for myself. So that camera, that was the Sony a6000, and I didn't know anything about cameras. And then I started getting to Casey Neistat. I loved the daily vlogs he did. Everyone did. It was just passion put into like 10 minutes of your day, and it motivated you. So what I decided to do was, instead of doing a daily vlog, I did a weekly vlog, just so that I could get used to the camera. I should be able to do and like just make videos with a camera, and I wasn't doing that with the T2i. So I wanted that discipline, and I finally gave that to myself. And it was an aps-c camera as well. So finally, years go by, and I finally decided to upgrade again. That was the not the Canon, that was the Sony a6400. This was when they had the eye autofocus, the picture profiles put in their aps-c line, and I wanted to use them so bad because I loved color grading. And my a6000 didn't have that. So I wanted to kind of get into more of a cinematic feel, and I wanted to color grade. That is one of my bigger passions about editing. So I upgraded to that, and that was also an aps-c camera. And I absolutely love all of those cameras. I still have my a6400. I gave my a6000 to my friend because he vlogged with me, and he kind of went through that whole passionate stage of my life with me. His name is Calvin. You should go check out his Instagram. I'll put it somewhere. And he does like a lot of dance stuff, and I used to do a lot of his dance videos, including one of my other friends, and I just enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and I loved that passion. And that's why I will always love my old cameras, the aps-c cameras. And trust me, with even that small experience of time, I'm still no filmmaking master. And that's when we get to now. So let's go ahead and start with what I want to talk about, where I am now. So where I was to where I am now is a lot different. My aspirations has changed, and it's been more focused on YouTube. And back then I just wanted to be a filmmaker, and now I want to do a little bit of both. So to do that, you have to kind of think about investments and future-proof your equipment, and future-proof like just everything you want to do in this job. A lot of people just end up buying a new camera and not getting better lighting, or not getting better microphones, or not getting better anything. But I wanted something that could last me. And I was gonna kind of think about getting like a different full frame camera, but the thing is, my a6400 did the things I needed it to do. But the thing that I haven't challenged, because I've been doing YouTube constantly for over a year now, and I've been keeping up with the schedule. I haven't had to miss anything except for when I went on vacation during, well, COVID-ish, but now it's a little bit different. Now I need to really think about stuff. So what I thought about was maybe I could find a different camera. But the thing is, there are so many different cameras, but I'd have to change my whole ecosystem. I have lenses, and I have like my whole rig system based on Sony. And for a while, it didn't seem like they were gonna listen. And then they made the a6400, they made the A7 III, and then they made finally the A7S III. And it's an amazing camera. It future-proofs a lot of what I needed to do. One, I can get cheaper lights because it's great in low light. One, it has an amazing HDMI setup that you can get external recording for 12-bit or 16-bit, depending on which recorder you have. That's amazing, and it has frame rates that I need. And it does all this with the new sensor color science setup of their Venice line. That's amazing. That's beautiful. I love the fact that they're listening so much to us, especially with the articulate screen right there. I love that even more. And it just blew my mind. And I also realized that in my goals, I've only exercised YouTube, and I want to exercise filmmaking instead. So if I'm gonna do that, I need a video first and cinema first camera. And people have made short films time and time with the A7S II, but that's a dated camera, and I kind of tried it out for a bit, but I never really filmed anything with it. I need to have people around me to do that. But with this camera, I feel like I'm able to invest in it, and even though it's a very expensive camera, I could eventually break it in to the point that I know how to use it. I know like how to make a film, I know how to make a short film, I know how to make a narrative or anything I needed to do. And that's what I want with this camera. So you kind of have to think about your future and how to future-proof. If you just get a camera that will be dated in a year, then it's just not gonna work out. But this has everything I needed for the next like 7 years. So with that 9-year span of aps-c cameras, that is when I decided I need a full frame camera. Not because of all the stats that full frame has over an aps-c. It's because we're so used to a full frame sensor when we're filmmaking, or when we're watching a film anyway. And it's just something I need to practice. So this is more of a challenge investment for me. And if I don't do this, then I don't end up going where I want to be. So if something is limiting you in any way, then that is where you invest in. The next thing for me is lighting. My whole lighting setup, yeah, it looks nice in the back, but my whole lighting towards my face is just a small $200 setup. These lights look better, but you need to invest in yourself, and you have to find out what that is. And if that's full frame, if that's lighting, if that's anything else, just as long as you're heading towards your passion, that's when you should do it. Yeah, stick with aps-c, practice as much as you can with it. I did that. But when you feel like you're ready, and you know when you are, it's literally like a calling. You feel like, hey, I filmed so much with this camera. I always have it with me. Now I need to upgrade. Now I need to grow up. Not really grow up, I guess. More like I need to step up a bit. I need to challenge myself a little bit more. And since I don't know anything on how to do anything with this camera, I want to do that to myself. So I hope you guys come along with that journey. No comments like the past few weeks because of the whole election thing, and a lot of like videos are kind of getting downplayed right now because of that. So I'm not gonna be reading comments this time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to check out more stuff like this about Sony cameras and stuff like that, I have playlists up here, and they're gonna be showing up over here as well in one of these spots. I always forget, I say that every time, but I should probably find out. But of course, like and subscribe and dream on.